Okay, so I can see that the camera is working this time, so that's good. I think that the audio is, but if anyone has found me, if you could just let me know if you can hear me okay, that would be really great. Thank you. And I realize it would just take people a couple of minutes to find it again. So just like to say my apologies for the technical problems on the previous stream, and just to welcome back anyone who is here. I will just take a moment now just to put the link on my Facebook page and etc. Seems as it's now different to what it was anticipated that it would be. So while I'm just waiting for people to come on, I will just do that. I'll just continue to share a few thoughts as I do so. How is everyone doing? I can't believe we are at the 11th of June already. Hope that everyone is having a good start to the summer or the winter, just depending on which area of the world that is that you find yourself in. And that you are just enjoying being in the high vibrational energy of these times. I know it can, I've just realized I can actually put a link. I think there's now a feature to put a link. Excuse me for just thinking and talking at the same time. I think there's now a feature to put a link that will go out to YouTube subscribers as well. There's like a message function on YouTube, I think, which I have never actually used before. So let me see if I can figure out how to do that, just to give people a bit more of a chance to find me again. And even when you do find me again, if you could just let me know. Oh, yes, you're here again. Excellent. Thank you, Cliff. Yes, and you can see and hear me. Wonderful. Nobody else seems to have found me yet. So I'm just put it on my Facebook page, on my personal Facebook page, actually, rather than the business one, because I know more people tend to look at, or it tends to get more views. And I was just saying that there's this new feature on YouTube where you can somehow share a message with your subscribers. So I'll try and figure out how to do that just very quickly as we are getting on. How are things with you in your part of the world, Cliff? I know I was just saying that, you know, we've got lots of high vibrational light coming in, and it, my personal experience anyway, it's bringing up a lot of the stuff. I don't know if ever other people are experiencing it that way. I expect some people are in a blissful state. Others are finding loads of things thrown in their face, and it's just a whole mixed bag probably. So however the energy is treating you, I do hope that this time that we have together will really help you in grounding still further into the energy of the new earth and of your higher self, in a way that will be really supportive to you in integrating the energy of these times, right? I think I've now managed to post that as a message on YouTube as well. So I'm just gonna get on with the transmissions without waiting for other people to come. Oh, you're in Texas and it's hot, but it's only June. Oh, wow, that's very exciting, beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Yes, so many beings coming in for us now to support us. We are so blessed and so lucky. Do you know what? I'm just thinking I'm being really quite stupid because all those things about not saying negative things about yourself. I'll rephrase that. I had a momentary thinking lapse because I can just send. I'm pretty sure I know the two individuals who were on the call before, so I can just send them the link in Messenger. How's that for a good and quick solution? Yeah, I've been feeling the galactic's presence very strongly, actually. I guess I've been working with angels the longest, and although I do channel galactics, I haven't really done that much personal work with galactics, though I have with angels. So the galactics have been coming in for me strongly, as well as the energy actually of Baba G. So that's all very exciting. Okay, that is my messages sent, and now I am here to be present with the transmission. Apologies for that. Okay, Lord, no worries. Thank you for your patience, Cliff. Very grateful. Okay, and to everyone else who joins afterwards and still has all this blurb at the front, I will put something in the comments saying where the actual transmission begins. A kind of. Wow, that's very exciting. Isn't that just wonderful that, you know, we have evolved to the levels where we can connect with those beings who are just so higher dimensional. We can really start to integrate that energy into our physical body as well, so that we can be the presence of that higher dimensional energy on the earth, that as well as Gaia and many of the plant and animal beings being that energy and holding that higher frequency to support us, humanity, in upgrading, up vibrating to that. You know, now there's more and more of us also who are doing that work and just holding that those sacred frequencies on behalf of the planet and on behalf of humanity. And I do feel that we are very blessed to be here at this time and to be able to be a part of this transformation and actually really start to see physical evidence of it in the physical realms, however that may look like for different individuals. So it's wonderful to hear actually other people's showings. That's a good kind of side effect of all the technical trouble to get today. I got to learn a lot more about you, Cliff, and about some of the, you know, higher dimensional work and the light work that you're doing. So for me, that's a joy to actually know people in the community more. So yay to the time of sharing. Maybe at some point I'll just have to have a community call where we all get on a Zoom call or something like that, and we just have a time of open sharing, because that sounds like it would be fun. I'm really quite interested to learn about other people and what they're doing as well. It's always very, you know, I'm just here and I'm showing the messages, and I don't get that much opportunity to learn about you who are on here as individuals, except for those of you who do join the circles or else book a private session. And it is always a joy to really get to know people, because the channel does attract such beautiful souls who are really committed and devoted to being the presence of the divine and the presence of light on the planet. So it's always such a joy to connect with the individuals that I do. So maybe I'll just have at some point a kind of open call where we can for those who want to connect more. Okay, it seems that somebody else has refound us. So whoever you are, welcome back. I'm glad you're here, or perhaps you've only just came on. I am going to get going. The beings of light are eager to share what it is that they want to share today. And then we'll go into the higher self messages that if you're on my mailing list, you know about, or if you follow the Transmissions of Light Facebook page, you know about. And if not, perhaps you don't actually know, and it will be a surprise to you. You'll be hearing it for the first time, but they have offered to give a very short higher self message, a short higher self reading to up to 10 individuals on the live transmission today. We'll be doing that after we do the other channel transmissions. Just to let you know, if you do need to pop off in the middle and come back, of course, you're more than welcome to. It doesn't mean you have to be here for the entire transmission. I don't know, we'll probably run about 35, 40 minutes before we start that, I would imagine, based on what they're telling me they want to bring through. And apologies again for the sudden frog in my throat. And then let us just go into a meditative state and see what wants to come through. So just allowing yourself to come into center. Really feeling your connection to the floor as you just settle your feet firmly, placing them consciously on the ground and feeling that connection between the back of the foot and the flooring or the carpet or the earth or whatever it is that you happen to be standing upon. And just leaning slightly into that, shifting your weight there a little, just to really feel how supported we are, and to really also just support us in grounding more in the physical body, which they do say is very important at this time as we are spending so much time in those higher dimensional energies. The point is to be bringing them into the physical body and integrating them into that. And for that, they say we do also need to have that connection with the energy of Gaia also. So now dropping a grounding cord into the very center of 11D and above Gaia. And then pulling that energy up into the physical body. And just feeling the neutralizing, the healing energy of Gaia start to bathe you in her very tender light, her divine manifestation of her love for all of humanity and for us as unique individuals as well, she says. And she wishes to greatly honor, she says, those of us walking this path at this time and choosing to be the forerunners in this passage that all of humanity, she hopes, are to choose to walk through. And she says she feels a still greater quickening within her energy, even though she knows that the energy of the Ascension timeline has actually been very accelerated up to this point. She senses a quickening, a greater acceleration from this point going forward. And so she just wishes to balance and hold us in that beautiful and very sacred feeling energy of the higher dimensions and the golden new earth energy that is coming in at this time, she says. So this will be a transmission that she enacts largely in silence, she says. So just opening up to receive. And now. Now, Metatron and Melchizedek bringing in their powerful energy just to support in the formation of the golden or golden platinum, depending where each individual is at, they say. Ascension column. And also bringing in multiple ascension activations for us to support each to the highest at this time, they say. It is we, it is us, the Palladian sisters, brothers of absolute light, come to share, speak, interact with you this day, dear beautiful shining ones, shining on behalf of those in your realm who do not yet know the true light of self. For you, dear ones, know that this ascension process, as well as being highly individualized and deeply personal when it comes to the degree of inner work and personal healing that needs to be done so that you can progress upon your path to the extent that those of you gathered here have. You did once know not just about the individual, also very much about being of greater service to awakening timeline for the whole of the humanity at this time for collective thoughts, behavior, patterns, limitations to dissolve. Will be some eruption before dissolving can take place in many cases, but the tide has now turned. Frequency of light on the planet higher than imagined possible by this stage. Thanks to you, dear, beautiful souls who volunteered to come at this time to do your part to serve Gaia and the soul of humanity at this time. We are so blessed to have this opportunity to work with many more of your kind than to this date. We see your frequency field holding more light, which makes greater possibilities for us to connect still more easily with you, and for you to be present and open to the guidance and signs and messages shared. Many eons have been traversed as all of creation awaited this perfect time, optimal opportunity for Earth and Earth beings to ascend beyond all conceived realities. This is the great awakening in humanity, awakening of consciousness, ascending of consciousness to the higher vibrational energies that are your soul's natural expression, natural resting place. Feel self, dear ones, held in these energies now. For there is so much that is ready to come forth for you at this time. Be open, dear ones, to receiving the messages, guidance, signs, for they direct you in alignment with your highest path, ascension timeline at this unique time upon the face of your beautiful, much loved by us planet. We are your light brothers, light sisters. We deeply honor growing light in your beings. Truly precious throughout the realms of eternity. Be the journey now. Find yourselves on. Truly a delight, an honor to observe the scale of the transformation, evolution in you, unique individuals and humanity at this much awaited, much celebrated, much honored time. All that you be experiencing at this time, be it unpleasant or pleasant, for the human you is very sacred. Now showing the channel who speaks with you this day, image of brown feathered, very ordinary looking duck transposed into beautiful white gleaming light swan. And as many of you will recognize, this is taken from, of course, probably a Hans Christian Andersen fairy tale. And so the elementals are just stepping in with their very like joyful and fiery and sparky energy to like light the flame under us, they say. They're like using this opportunity, that the mention of this fairy tale, which is very much connected to the energy of their realms, that kind of magic, for them to just like step in here and bless this transmission too, they're saying. And so just passing back to the Palladians now. I just want to complete some silent energy transmissions, they say, actually, before continuing with the message. So they are saying that this transformation from the very ordinary looking, ordinary seeming, they say we have always been special within and held that unique connection to the soul self and to the source within us, for that is what we came to express as. It's just we didn't know ourselves as that, so we are rediscovering ourselves as that. So they say that the duckling is more like a disguise. We kind of wrapped around ourselves in such deep folds and such deep layers with such thick feathers, to continue the analogy of the duck, that, you know, it took so long to pluck enough out that we could see the shining, gleaming light of that beautiful swan within. And yet that is the transformation that those of us who are walking this awakening and ascension path have. That is kind of like what we have already undergone, they say. And where we are to go from now is where this, I have no idea what word you use for a group of swans, like this troop of swans, shall we call them, because they're like showing them almost like dancing as they fly in the sky. I know that's not the right word, but just launching together up into the sky and just becoming that very high vibrational light energy upon the planet that is there and is like pulling the planet up to meet it. It's like there's no acceptance of anything else. It's like well, of course, Gaia herself is already vibrating at that higher level, but it's like the rest of humanity, the rest of the animal kingdom that have not got there yet. They don't really have any choice but to just like fall in with it, because the power of the light energy that is being held both by the many, many, many light beings. They say that this time surround the planet, plus the many, 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 many multiple light workers, way showers, ascension guides, ascension catalysts, ascension leaders who are on the planet at this time. That vibration of light is so strong. A very pure energy that it can't accept that which is not aligned with it. So that which is not aligned with it just needs to dissolve and fall away. And they do just wish to remind us to look within ourselves and to discover what is not allowed. Sorry, not allowed, aligned was the word I meant to use, with that very pure, high vibrational light energy, so that we can gently just cull it away. Let it be released. And we will be shown, they say, to talk to our higher selves, our guides, our guide teams, and ask what it is that we need to release or change. It can be a very slight transformation, they say. Might just be that we do something with a different energy in it or behind it, or that we make a different choice, or that we spend more time with certain others and less time with another group of others. Very minute shift, they're saying in many cases, because we've already done most of that like larger footwork, and we are already in actually very high alignment, but there's just some little areas that we haven't quite got around to tweaking yet, they're saying. And they would ask us if we are able to pay attention to ask what those areas are, and to pay attention to what we are shown. For that will allow us to embody a still higher vibration of the light frequency that Gaia truly needs us to really ground within us and hold on behalf of the whole of humanity at this time. And multiple beings of light. Excuse me, I think I'm gonna cough. Just coming in to surround us in this virtual space that we are co-creating together. And they are just pouring their higher frequency codes and light into each of us now. I am Babaji of Absolute Light, delighted, dear ones, to be in the presence of such joyful, light-filled, beauty-filled, hearted ones this day. How well you are being in the capability, the competence of aligning your lives with that of the divine flow of energy at this time. for all is heading in direction of great upshifting, and you did once lead with such excellence. I wish you now to bring more, still more determination to your chosen purpose and mission here. Feel that energy of determination to fulfill mission, to be in alignment with purpose within your tanden area. And if there are any who don't know, that is just below the stomach, just below the belly button, sorry, in the center of the body. Ground your determination of mission here, dear ones, for this is where fiery energy comes forth and will breathe greater fire, greater fuel into manifestations you are to create on behalf of new earth creations at this sacred passage of time. And just before we finish the channeled part of the transmission for today, the dragons would like to just bring in their release and clearing energy. As well as they say an activation to help us ground those divine flow aligned manifestations with more ease and grace into the new earth templates that are already in place. Shahanyatanya tiketa harat titala siketa farakata hashitinya Hiarata malikata hainya tikalarata patinya shkahiarata kimya Shikaharata kitamyata. Shanye shikata hola kita falasara. Halemira. Shikata kata katikola takapalamiara. I'm just going to mute myself just for a couple of minutes and just put another layer on and get a few sips of my tea while you guys can take a little bit of time just to let that energy integrate. So thanking you, Cliff, and Kirsten and Helena and anyone else who is here. I can see there are more people here. And also, of course, those of you who are here on replay and adding your energy to the transmission later. And they really did bring through a lot more than they even told me they were going to. So I feel like that was exceptionally powerful energy, and truly hope that it resonated with those of you here, and that it will also be of great support to you on your path going forward. And as I said, they are going to bring forth higher self, mini higher self messages for people who want to receive them, who put their name in the chat. But before that, they would like me just to share a little about the higher self connection and messages circle, which they have asked me to begin starting next month, and which is actually the reason why they were kind of inspired to bring through higher self messages on this live today. So I will just bring up the web page. So I'm still kind of in the energy of the transmission, and my logical mind isn't thinking so well right now. So I'm just going to largely look at the page and kind of paraphrase it from there. Yeah, what do I want to say about it first, or what do they want me to say about it first? Well, they're just saying that this is a time of connecting to a higher guidance, of course, as everyone knows, and as most of the people on this channel, you know, I think you are already doing that. The circle will be once a month on a Tuesday, I've tried to make it as open to as many time zones as possible by putting it in the evening here. So that will be at 8:15 a.m. in ET, or 1:15 p.m. in the UK, 2:15 p.m. in CET, or 8:15 p.m. in Western Australia. And I mean, it's going to take various formats, they're saying, but the emphasis is on getting higher self guidance that will serve you that month. And until now, well, the Divine Feminine Circle does have guided journeys most months, but the other circles, the focus is largely on channeling, with occasionally, you know, a kind of guided channel journey in there, but most of the time very much the beings transmitting messages. And this circle is going to be slightly different in that respect, in that the focus is going to be on you getting access to your higher self guidance in various ways. They will be leading us in various guided meditations and other activities to support that, the beings of Absolute Light are saying. And then after the time of doing that, there will be a time of sharing, because what I have really learned and deeply value from the other circles is that as one person shares the guidance that their higher self brings through for them, there's so much that everyone else on the call can benefit from and can learn from, because our higher selves just have so much wisdom and so much beauty in their expression and the way that they see us and what they want to show us. So it's kind of a two-part function, partly so that we can all, I guess 3 parts, if I'll just sort of one I can put in the middle there, but partly so that everyone can learn and evolve from each other's higher self wisdom too. And then the second one, which literally I just, you know, had that inspiration now, is that it will also, you know, be a very affirming act for the individual, I think, to share the higher self wisdom that they received and have that affirmed by other members of the circle. And then the other function is that I know even for myself, even though I know that I'm a clear channel for others, it's much harder sometimes to get guidance for yourself, even if you've been doing this a long time. And it depends largely on how much you're emotionally invested in something as well. I think the more you tend to be emotionally invested in something, the harder it can be to get clear guidance on it. So getting to a place of neutrality is always a really good start. But what they will be doing is they will be bringing through either additional guidance for individuals based on the guidance that they received, or possibly both, slight adjustments to the guidance that you received if the way that you heard it was very slightly different to the kind of highest expression of how it could have come through. And so they are excited about doing this because they see it as being of great support in people in a very to people in a very practical way. I was going to put it twice a month, and it can go to twice a month if people, who join feel that they would rather have it that often. But I thought, once a month, getting kind of higher self guidance probably takes a month to act on some of it and to integrate it and so on. I'm open to flexibility around that. If people who join do want a more regular circle, that would also be a possibility. But the main focus is really to help you gain clarity and confidence in the certainty that you are receiving the message that your higher dimensional self most wants to convey to you at this particular moment of now. So that I kind of only read that bit from the website, and the rest was just spoken from what came up from within me and from the beings of Absolute Light. So if you do want to look at the website page later, I will put the link in the description of the YouTube video for you. It is going to be $31 a month, or if you pay like quarterly, there'll be a slight discount and you can join for the equivalent of $28 a month. And for members of full-paying members of other circles, there's a slightly discounted rate of $27 a month. So for anyone who is inspired or interested by that, I do invite you to go and look at the website page when you have a few moments to do so. And then we would like to go into relaying mini higher self messages to any individuals on the call who want to receive. So if that is you, please feel free just to put your name in the chat, or I guess your name will come up. Actually, probably it depends if your YouTube name is your real name or not. And yes, please, or I'd like a message from my higher self or something like that. The messages today are going to be from your higher selves. But even then, they're still conveyed to me through the beings of Absolute Light. But rather than being messages from the beings of Absolute Light, they are messages directly from people's higher selves, is what they are saying. So Cliff, yes, okay, let's see what they want to say to you. Okay, that they came through very naturally, and I was about to correct it because I was like, no, it's not the beings of Absolute Light, it's your higher self. But they're like showing me that your higher self is actually a very it's like a collective almost, because there's so many different aspects of you that are now ready to be integrated within this physicality that you are. Like your star family are very close and really cheering you on and are ready to have still greater contact with you. And they are just bringing through your higher self aspects and elements, the kind of multiplicity of them that they were now speaking of. And just now bringing through activations to the upper chakras for you as an individual, just to support you. With more flow and more ease, being able to integrate their energy. And the higher self aspects are also saying that this may be kind of more of a jump for your physical body than other integration processes within your journey thus far have been. So just to be kind and loving to yourself. To take time for yourself, just to be with yourself without other people around you, just to really allow for that higher self aspects, those higher self aspects, I guess, to integrate to the fullest. They're also saying that there is, so actually this is like an exceptionally minimal amount. There is kind of one situation in your life that they would describe as not being absolutely aligned, referring to the message that they were speaking to before and how we've still got these smaller tweaks that we need to make. They say that one is like just shocking in its brilliance of how few there are, kind of thing, but they say you will know what it is, and to put your attention on how you can release what is not in integrity without releasing the entirety of that situation or relationship. So I hope that speaks to you. And if you're not you might be 100% clear already what they're speaking of, but if not, do just ask in your meditations today and throughout the next week for further clarity and further guidance. I encourage any of you, if the message kind of reaches you but not 100%, you can ask for more information in your own meditations with your higher self. So that's what they want to share with you today. And thank you for being here. And for your very supportive and uplifting messages, may I say, comments. Thank you. And Helena, yes, of course. Okay, so for you, they are just first bringing in some golden energy through the crown. And there is some energy around the throat that is a bit stuck. They're saying like something that you're perhaps not expressing yourself as honestly as you would like to around. So they are just going to clear that energy a bit. And they want to just say and honor how proud they are of this amazing and transformational journey that you have been on. You have evolved beyond what your soul imagined that it would, even when it came into this lifetime, knowing that it would be a hugely transformational lifetime, is what they're saying. There's very much a sense that some souls came in, and they knew they were going to be doing that huge transformational work. And so there was a lot of higher dimensional support for them, and maybe they were activated into things just very naturally along their path. Whereas there's other souls, and this is why they're saying particularly that they honor you, which doesn't mean they don't honor others here. They say, but for you, it's like you've gone larger than what your soul had intended, because your soul hadn't intended for you to be in such a large and active role as you are. You're always here to be that energy of the new and to share that, but your soul had anticipated it, doing it in kind of smaller scale ways. And again, the star family energy coming in very strongly. And they say there are two things, but for you, they're more feelings than situations that they would like you to focus on releasing of. So again, I hope that that has been helpful and of great service to you at the place where you find yourself now. give it a couple more minutes to see if anyone else would like to receive a message. My cat is just arriving in the room. Maybe his higher self sent him a message to say it's good timing to come. Maybe my higher self message sent him a message saying, hey, we're coming to the end and you won't disturb us too much if you come and climb all over the table now. Okay, there doesn't seem to be any other individuals requesting one at this time, so I will just very briefly share a message from the collective higher selves for the people who are live on this transmission now, they're saying, and who will be joining it later. They do say it is to be quite brief. Hopefully it will have impact for each of you. And here is Toma just to say hello as we get started. Oh, how proud we are of you, dear human manifestations of the higher self expressed, energy expressed in form and with what divine light the energy of us, the higher self, flows to the alive, alert, awake, beautifully aware consciousness in each of you. We see in you so much more beauty, love, purity, joy, truth, light than you acknowledge in yourself, even through the journey of greater coming into self-love that you are and have been on. Know that all that you see as sacred, good, beautiful, desirable, honorable, and more in yourself, so do we, and so much more, for we love too parts of yourself that you despise or do not dare yet even look at. For we know they are seeds planted to fuel still more expansion, greater evolution. Greater up, shifting into still more of love, light, divine truth. You are already being so much of in the world so natural to you, dear ones, for you have aligned human self with so much of us, the higher self energy. No greater thing than this in the eyes of the divine, the soul. We celebrate, respect, thank, and honor you for all allowed self to be evolved into embody now. Be true to heart's guidance, dear ones, and know we are always close, living presence by you, around you, in you, with you, always. It is we, it is us, the collected higher selves, for group of souls collected here. And so for both those here live on the transmission and those listening later on replay, that was just a beautiful message, true honoring and affirmation of the beauty and the light and the love that you are, we are being, choosing to be and embody in the world. And as they were saying, it's like that at first we had to actively choose it, and sometimes we still do, but it has become so natural to us that a lot of the time that is just the natural expression of who we are that is flowing forth. Thank you, Diana. Always grateful to receive your comments too. So isn't that just a wonderful thing to just finish with, just that affirmation of how far we have come on this journey that we are, and then looking forward to the vast expansiveness of beautiful light and beautiful transformation that awaits us now, as individuals and as communities and as a human collective, as the energy is all pulling us, pulling humanity, upshifting Gaia and humanity into ever higher dimensions, is what they're saying. So they are just encouraging all of us, as in their message to Cliff, to just have time to be by yourself so that you can integrate this very high vibrational light that is coming into the planet at this time. And just finishing with a transmission from Mother, Father, God, and Divine Source Light. To bless you, each of you, here now live or listening later on replay as you go forward through the rest of this month. And I, as always, am so grateful for this time that we have had together, and for your presence here, and just want to thank you for being the beautiful lights that you are. The energy that comes through is so pure and beautiful, and we do co-create that together. So even though I don't know all of you personally, I do know that you are holding that frequency of light and of love on the planet, and Just wish to thank and honor you for that, and send you much love with much gratitude from my heart to yours. Thank you.